If you have ever felt like you were throwing darts in the dark when it comes to marketing your handyman business, today's episode is going to be a game changer for you. We're talking about understanding your ideal client because the way you show up in your business should match what your ideal clients actually want. I recently asked a group of female homeowners, mostly in their 30s and 40s, how they look for and hire a handyman, and the responses were pretty eye-opening and proved just how much your ideal client's generation, life stage, and expectations shape how they want to engage with your business. And at the end of the day, if you truly understand your ideal client, you can position your website, communication, and marketing to match their needs. And that means more book jobs, better client relationships, and all of that good stuff. So let's dive into these real world examples. Example number one is we have Danielle. Danielle is self-employed. Her kids are in high school or have just graduated. So I think her son is in college and her daughter is either a junior or senior in high school, but she's nearing that empty nester life, right? She lives in an affluent neighborhood in Texas. Danielle is Gen X, and her hiring process is really all about speed and trust. So first off, when she's looking for somebody to help around her home, she starts with referrals, and generally speaking, she'll start in Facebook. Now, once she gets a referral from either a friend or a Facebook group that is local, she's going to take their name, and then she wants to deep dive into your reviews, past work, photos, all of that. She wants to go make sure you are a legit business before she even thinks about inviting you anywhere near her home. The thing that's interesting about Danielle is that she is pretty much not interested in filling out a form. She wants a phone number she can call right now because the need is present in the moment. She wants to have her questions answered, and she feels that a form usually means that it's going to be delayed response, and she wants that speed of reaction. So if she calls you and you don't pick up or you don't have a phone number anywhere on your website, she's going to move on to the next option. So what this means for your handyman business is if your ideal client is like Danielle, your website and marketing needs to prioritize an easy to find phone number and fast response times. Having a strong presence on Facebook where referrals happen is key, and making sure your website shows reviews and past work. Now, generally speaking, somebody like Danielle who wants that ease of getting on the phone and answering right away can be hard for a small handyman business. If you are a solo entrepreneur who's kind of doing all the things and doesn't have an admin staff, maybe not. But that is a very important thing to pay attention to and make a specific decision about, right? Okay, next we have example number two. Jen, she is a millennial and she is a self-employed mom with elementary school kids, and she lives in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So she's a millennial and approaches hiring a little differently than our Gen X friend Danielle. She was talking about the last time she found a handyman, and it was through a yard sign that the handyman had put up in her neighbor's yard while he was working at a neighbor's house. So she instantly was like, oh, you work in my neighborhood, my neighbors trust you. And she reached out to this handyman after she did a little bit of research, and she became a long-term client because she liked having that go-to guy in her back pocket. Now, she saw the yard sign. The person had a website. She checked out the website, vetted reviews, and then texted to book because she prefers primarily text communication over phone calls. So what this means for you as your handyman business, that if you want to attract clients like Jen, visibility in the neighborhoods you want to work in matters. Yard signs, truck magnets, and neighbor recommendations go a long way. So having a website with clear service details and a way to text you will make it easier for her to reach out. Now, what's really interesting in all of these situations, all of the women who I talked to said specifically they are going to vet you online. They are going to make sure you're legit. So keep that in mind as well. How you direct them once you get them online and share the right information depends on who your ideal client is, but they all want to make sure you are a legit business. Okay, example number 3, we have Crystal. Now, Crystal is based in Houston. She is a busy mom with a middle schooler and elementary school kid. One of her daughters is also special needs, and her husband travels a ton for work. So, like Jen, she's a millennial, but her needs are completely different than Jen's. She prefers to find someone through referrals, first and foremost, but then will go to Google and vet via websites. Now, Crystal 100% does not want to make a phone call. She will not pick up that phone and call you. She is researching and remembering that she needs to have home repairs done at 11 o'clock at night after the kids are in bed and she finally has a moment to herself. So she wants that simple online form to request a quote. She likes email since she's in front of her computer all day, and the idea of just uploading photos, giving a description, and waiting to hear back is exactly what she wants. So if somebody like Crystal is your ideal client, what this means for your business is that your website must have a form and make the process seamless. She doesn't want to call you, so if you don't have an online inquiry option, you might be losing her as a client before she even considers. This simple thing with Crystal is she needs to be able to contact you when it's convenient for her, not convenient for you. Now, example number 4 is Sarah, who is based out of the Seattle area. She is not self-employed. She is an executive assistant for a very busy company, and she is managing schedules and phone calls, and she spends all of her time either in meetings or in front of the computer, right? So Sarah's going to start her research online, looking for local handymen, and she wants somebody that has an online presence, right? She wants to see photos of the work and reviews. So, hey, my eyeballs are saying, yes, that repair looked good. I'd be happy with that. And the reviews I'm reading are saying, yes, this person actually shows up and does what they say they're going to do, right? She needs to see photos of past work and reviews before trusting someone to come into her home. She checks the 5-star reviews, but she also looks at the 1-star reviews to see how the business handles complaints because that shows character. Now, she doesn't want to make a phone call either due to her busy schedule. She prefers the online form, upload photos, describe the issue, rather than to trying to explain it over the phone. So if somebody like Sarah is your ideal client, having a professional website, visible reviews, and an easy way for her to submit a request with photos is going to attract someone like Sarah. Also, how you handle negative reviews matters because clients like her are reading them. How you respond to reviews, good and bad, is actually very important to how people see how you react to things, right? Okay, the next example is Jess. Jess is a millennial. She lives in Florida. She's single, has a house on her own. And at the end of the day, she just wants somebody to show up. Like, that is her biggest issue. She will start her search online and she wants to have a business with good reviews and a legit website. Now, her biggest pain point is just finding someone who responds and follows through. She prefers the form, but she's open to a phone call. And once she finds somebody reliable who will actually show up and do the thing that she needs and communicates with her, she's going to become a repeat customer. So what that means for your business is that if you're reliable, responsive, and easy to find online, you're going to win clients like Jess. Okay. 2 more examples. One of them is me because, of course, I have my own opinion. I'm happy to share it. And then another one is a friend. She gave me a really interesting example of her partner who works in a similar trade. Okay, so my name is Becca. As you know, I'm a millennial and I live in the Pacific Northwest. And my hiring process is that I will also default to start out with referrals, but I'm not going to even think about hiring someone even with a referral unless I can verify their business online. If I can get a referral but can't find a website, reviews, or any proof of work, you're dead in the water, right? So I'm going to Google you. I'm going to read reviews. I'm going to check for project photos because I want to know that you're legit. And I also want to see a photo of you because I want to know what you look like before I invite you anywhere near my home. I'm going to do what all women do when they're dealing with a man they don't know. As general speaking, I know that's a blanket statement, but most of your ideal clients that are hiring you are going to be female, and most of you handymen are men. And if a woman is going to invite a man into their home, they want to make sure they're going to feel safe. And seeing a picture of you goes a long, long way to building that trust immediately. So I want to see that photo of you. Now, I also want to avoid phone calls at all costs, but I'm open to texting after I vetted the business. Now, for reviews, I don't need hundreds of reviews, but I do want a solid handful of ones so I can feel comfortable inviting somebody into my home and knowing that they're going to provide a good service. And I also really want to know how the process works. How quickly are you going to communicate with me? How are you going to communicate with me? Is it going to be via email or via text? I don't particularly care. I just want to know where to go to know where to pay attention, right? So what this means for your business is if your ideal client is like me, your website and online presence is going to matter. If you don't have a website, you're going to miss out on clients that need that validation before booking. Also, having that clear process outlined in your site are going to help more people like me feel comfortable moving forward. Okay, so my other friend, whose name is Stacy, she lives in BC, Canada, and she is a Gen X. So she didn't have anything specifically about hiring a handyman, but what she did share was really interesting. Now, her partner runs a mobile mechanic business as a side thing when he has downtime from his work. He works on movie sets and stuff. So in his in-between, he has a mobile mechanic business. He was struggling to get clients using Facebook posts, which were what used to work for him whenever he would pick up this side hustle, right? But what was interesting that Stacey was talking about that did work is that once he put a simple magnet on his vehicle that explained what it is that he did and how to contact him, his calls started to pick up. People started to reach out. So just having that clear branding and contact info on his car immediately increased his call volume. So what that means for your business is that being visible in your local area really, really matters. It's a visibility game at the end of the day. A truck magnet, a yard sign, or even wearing a branded t-shirt while running errands is going to make a huge difference in getting new leads. So we just jumped through 6 or 7 different examples of people that are looking for handyman and what it is that's important to them. And if you notice, they change depending on their location, their life circumstances, their expectations. Not a single one of those people had the exact same desires, but they all had the same thread. They want to vet that you are a real legit business and they can trust you, and they're going to do that via websites, via reviews, via photos. They want to make sure that they know who they're hiring. So the big takeaway is that your clients, at the end of the day, they're researching you. They're searching and researching and making sure you're legit before they ever reach out to you. So if you don't have a website, reviews, or clear contact options, you're losing potential business before they even contact you. Now, different clients want different ways to reach you. Some want calls, they want texts, some need an easy online form. So you want to make sure your website and response process matches what your ideal clients prefer. And also for your own way of working with people, you want to match how you want to run your business with your ideal client. So if you are a solo business and taking phone calls all the time takes a lot of your billable hours away because you're having conversations with potential clients when you're supposed to be doing hourly work for an actual client, maybe going after the clientele that really wants a fast, responsive phone call is not your best choice, right? Because you don't yet have an infrastructure in your business to be able to handle those types of calls and really wow your customers, which at the end of the day is what it's about. You should probably go for the client like Crystal who wants that online form, who wants to do it on her own time, and is also going to be just as excited to work with you, but it matches how you can show up, matches how they want you to show up, right? So at the end of the day, it comes down to, do you need an online presence? Yes. Do you need reviews? Yes. Do you need photos of you and the work that you've done? Yes to all of those, because that is what your ideal clients are searching for. Now, of course, you know that we can help you with that. We have readyrollwebsites.com where we can get you up and going. We can get you situated with a great online presence that's going to bring clients in, and then we can tweak the system so that it matches not only who your ideal client is, but also how you best show up. If this episode resonated with you, take a look at your websites and systems. Do they match what your ideal client needs? If not, now's the time to tweak it. And also, do you know who your ideal client is? If you are like, I'll take anybody, then how are you going to make a happy clientele out of those examples that we showed of drastically different expectations and desires? You can't. You're going to piss off one or two of them. So if you just narrow down who your ideal client is, maybe the other people will show up as well, but you're going to get a lot more of the people that you actually want when you've defined who that ideal client is. So at the end of the day, what we would love for you is to leave a review, share this episode. Of course, check out Ready Roll Sites. It's readyrollwebsites.com if you need a website that attracts your ideal client. I'll see you in the next episode. So that wraps up another episode of the Handyman System Podcast. I hope you found today's insights valuable. Remember, success isn't just about knowing the right tools, it's about taking action and building your business every single day. If you've enjoyed the show, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast with anyone you think might find it valuable. Until next time, keep building and keep improving.